Hello again, everybody. David Clary here at Bobby Hopkins Field getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. The Wildcats taking on the Sevier County Smoky Bears in what is going to be a full weekend of high school baseball across the East Tennessee, Knoxville area. And the Wildcats are going to be playing a lot of ball games on this Easter weekend, and this is the first one we're leading things off. The weather has not cooperated the last few days to get the PAL ball games in, but it's a beautiful day in Oak Ridge as we get set for the ball game. While I have a moment, let me run down the starting lineups. First off, for the visiting Smoky Bears, leading things off and playing left field will be Carson Martin. Batting second will be the third baseman, Braden Huffaker. Batting third will be the catcher, Bridger Hamilton. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, Jacob Green. Christian Huffman, the right fielder, will bat fifth. The pitcher today will be Isaiah Pappas. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Eli Koch, along with the eighth hitter, Mason Ellis, who's playing shortstop. And then the center fielder, Knox Crimblast. He'll hit ninth. The designated hitter, Landon Hurst, he's the second baseman, and the designated hitter will be hitting for him. For your hometown Oak Ridge Wildcats, leading things off will be the senior, the shortstop, Caden Black. Batting second will be the pitcher in today's ballgame, Mikey Teasley. Batting third will be the first baseman, Peyton Witter. Batting fourth will be the catcher, Parker Free. Batting fifth will be the third baseman, Cam Welch. Batting sixth will be the designated hitter, Cy Stevens. He'll be hitting for the second baseman, Noah Wood. Kyron Welch will be playing third base today. He'll be hitting seventh. The eighth place hitter will be Camden Britton. He'll be playing left field today. And the ninth hitter for the Wildcats will be the center fielder, Warren East. We're moments away from the start of this game. The umpires and the head coaches of the respective teams, Casey Taylor of Sevier County, the former Clinton Dragon, talking with Travis Free, the head coach of the Wildcats, while Ben Peters manicures the ground out in the infield. We're moments away from the Wildcats starting lineups, the national anthem, and all associated with high school baseball here at Bobby Hopkins. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Hopefully it'll be that way all weekend long. James, correct me if you got a moment. Kind of run down a little bit of our schedule for tomorrow, as the Wildcats also will probably be playing two ball games, I think, tomorrow.
The Wildcats will be playing two ball games tomorrow. The Wildcats had a rain out on Tuesday, which is why we didn't play PAL on Tuesday, and then was kind of scheduled for Wednesday, but I guess the field wasn't ready, so Wildcats did not play on Wednesday. So the game that would have been Wednesday in this tournament was South Milwaukee, who is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They're down here. Their high school team is down here to see one of their former players play at UT this weekend. And
what time will that game be?
The game tomorrow, the South Milwaukee game tomorrow, will be at 1:30. No, I'm sorry. It will not be South Milwaukee at 1:30. It will be
Greenville?
Yes. It will be Greenville, and then after that, the South Milwaukee game will be played
immediately following, or will there be time in between?
It should be immediately following is what Coach Free told me.
Sounds good. Doubleheader baseball. Come on out and support the Wildcats as they take on all opponents in this big tournament. It's going across really the Knoxville area. A lot of different sites for this tournament. And it should be if you're a baseball fan, it should be a good time to come out and watch. The weather's going to be a little chilly. In fact, we have a frost warning tonight, actually. James has just told me that it will be Sullivan East that Oak Ridge will be playing. Greenville at some point in this tournament, or maybe later on. It might have been up in Dobbins-Bennett when we go up there. I think it is. I knew it was one of the upper East Tennessee schools that the Wildcats will be playing. Portland is the opponent on Saturday. Haven't played them before, I don't believe, but looking forward to that. We will broadcast tonight's ball game. We will try to broadcast both games tomorrow, for sure the first one, and then Saturday we will not be able to broadcast, and you'll have to come out and support the Wildcats here at Bobby Hopkins Field at the Oak Ridge Baseball Complex in Oak Ridge. We are live on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening or watching our broadcast today. We apologize. We were unable to do the PAL ball game this past Monday, and as James said, we won't play the PAL Panthers again, I believe, till April the 23rd. I think that is the somewhere in later April. That's when the makeup game at Powell. If you've ever been to Powell's Field, whenever it rains, that Emery Creek there along the road there on Emery Road or over towards through Powell and on the halls floods big time, and it just floods that field. In fact, it's kind of interesting if you've ever been to that field, you can see the water line about halfway up the outfield fence on the green area of the fence, which is not good if you're trying to play baseball and there's 4 feet of water standing in your outfield. Got a new camera guy here today. He's a member of the Oak Ridge High School football team. We'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Cooper Getzinger, and I am a junior at Oak Ridge High School, and I play football.
What position do you play? You're obviously a lineman.
I'm the right tackle or left tackle.
My question is, do you know anything about baseball?
Not really.
Why does everybody who comes up here to help me, including Garrett Giles, a really good basketball player, has never watched a baseball game in his life? Well, surely you've watched it.
Oh, yeah, I've watched it. I was recruited by Ethan, though.
You're recruited by Ethan Eubanks, who is our number one crew guy. I say that because Vashon's not here. Vashon's not here to beat me up by saying Ethan. If Ethan was here, I'd probably say Vashon because I think Vashon can beat Ethan up, even though they don't fight. You know, it's one of those things. They're really two good guys. But we're still moments away. It's a long conversation taking place. I am going to turn down my microphones here so James can play some of that music he likes to play over the PA, which knocked us off the other day, our YouTube broadcast in several countries, including Iraq, which I don't know if anybody in Iraq was actually watching our broadcast, but YouTube said that it was copyrighted and we could not play that music in Iraq. So unfortunately, those people who might have wanted to watch the game in Iraq could not watch our ball game with I'm not sure, but there's a list of countries, and that's the one that stood out to me most. That Iraq, they cut us off. I say this every ball game, every time music is played, YouTube believes that we're playing it, and they think if it's copyrighted that we are trying to make money off of the song, and somebody's not getting paid for it. So we turn down the microphones whenever the music is being played. We are live at Bobby Hopkins Field. Long conversation between Coach Taylor and Coach Free. We'll be back with the first pitch of the ball game in a moment.
And your Oak Ridge Wildcats. Starting lineup for the visiting Smoky Bears. Batting first and playing left field, number 21, Carson Martin. Batting second, playing third base, number 8, Braden Huffaker. Batting third, catching tonight, number 1, Bridger Hamilton. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 5, Jacob Green. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 12, Christian Hoffman. Batting sixth, pitching tonight, number 4, Isaiah Pappas. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 25, Eli Koch. He will be batting for the second baseman, number 15, Landon Hurst. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 22, Mason Ellis. And rounding out the lineup for the Smoky Bears, the center fielder, number 11, Knox Krimblas. Smoky Bears are coached by the head coach, Casey Taylor, and assisted by Bubba Owens, Lance Hamilton, Devontae Matthews, Andy Chrisman, Mike Krimblas, Mike Williams, and Alex Haynes. And And now for the starting lineups for your Oak Ridge Wildcats. Caden Black. Batting second, pitching tonight, number 3, Mikey Teasley. Batting third, playing first base, number 9, Peyton Witter. Batting fourth, catching tonight, number 2, Parker Freed. Playing right field, number 23, and batting fifth, Camden Wells. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 22, Cy Stevens. He will be hitting for the second baseman, number 13, Noah Wood. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 4, Kyron Welch. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 8, Camden Britton. And rounding out the lineup, the center fielder, number 14, Warren East. The Wildcats are coached by head coach Travis Free and assisted by Jeremiah Ball, Will Maddox, Ben Peters, and Kevin McKeithen. We would ask at this time if you would please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's our national anthem here from Bobby Hopkins Field, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. The Wildcats taking on the Sevier County Smoky Bears, coached by Casey Taylor. As I mentioned, Casey was a good basketball and baseball player at Clinton High School several years ago. We were talking about that before the game. He played against the likes of Sean Bohannon, Mike Gibson, Matt McMahon, that whole crew back in the mid-'90s. And obviously, a good baseball coach. He's done wonders with the Sevier County program, was the head coach for a while at Clinton as well. And we look forward to what should be a great day of baseball here live from Bobby Hopkins Field. As I mentioned, it is a little chilly, but not bad, really, not as bad as we've had. It is going to get cool tonight. I think we have a frost warning. I think I mentioned that earlier in our first part of our broadcast. Mikey Teasley is warming up for the Wildcats. I'll set the defense for you. At first base for Oak Ridge is Peyton Witter. Second baseman is Noah Wood. The shortstop is Caden Black. Kyron Welch is playing third base today for the Wildcats. In left field is Camden Britton. In center field, Warren East. And the right fielder for the Wildcats today Wildcats starting a new right fielder as I look out there. And that will be, as I'm looking, Cam Welch. Yes, of course, Cam Welch. He'll be playing right field. He's played a little right field this year, and I apologize. I was looking for number 12, but it's Cam Welch out in right field. Kyron Welch is the catcher. We are about to get set from Bobby Hopkins Field. I'm going to turn the mics down. We'll be back in a moment.
Sevier County, left fielder number 21, Carson Martin.
Carson Martin leads things off against Mikey Teasley, and we're about to have the first pitch of the ball game on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. My name is David, along with Cooper and the rest of the crew. The first pitch is fouled back to the screen, and we are underway from Bobby Hopkins Field. Only game today for the Wildcats. As I mentioned, Oak Ridge will play a doubleheader tomorrow, beginning at 1:30. Mikey ahead in the count, no balls and one strike. The pitch hit hard right to the first baseman, Peyton Witter, and passed him in to right field. Ball's fielded in right field, and the leadoff man is aboard. Ball was hit on the nose, but Peyton couldn't come up with it. And they have the first base runner of the ball game, and the batter now will be the third baseman, Braden Huffaker. He's a right-handed hitter against the right-handed throwing Mikey Teasley. You can hear Coach Free from the Oak Ridge dugout, which is on the third base side. Sevier County wearing their purple jerseys, mainly gray. First pitch sails all the way back to the backstop, and here comes Parker's throw. And I noticed in warm-ups that Mikey had thrown a few wild like that, and hopefully he'll settle down. Mikey's usually, his control's pretty good, but I was watching him in warm-ups. He threw actually several like that, and that one caught nothing but brick. And he's behind in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. The runner advances down to second on the wild pitch. Mikey comes to the plate, hit foul. Back our way and to the right and out of play. I was saying a moment ago, the Smoky Bears wearing predominantly gray jerseys with purple numerals. The Wildcats wearing their Cardinal jerseys with their white baseball pants with white and gray lettering. Runner at second, nobody out. Top of the first inning. Mikey comes to the plate. It's off the mid of Parker. And down to third will go the base runner. So count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner at third. I don't guess we have the scoreboard rolling up here, which means I'll have to do it from memory, which is not good. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Oh, boy. Maybe a little outside and low. I believe the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Thank you, Mr. Umpire. Runner at third for the Smoky Bears. Mikey Teasley, sophomore right-hander, comes to the plate. Hit foul again. Over the top of the press box and out of play. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Huffaker back in. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Parker Free is the catcher. I think I said Kyron earlier. He's playing third. Pitch is hit in the air softly. Right fielder Cam Welch. He's going to make the catch, and here comes the throw. He throws it long, and the Wildcats have a chance to get him. Here comes the pickoff play in between third and home, and here's the throw, and Parker applies the tag. So it's a double play the hard way. He just came too far off the bag at third. Got caught in no man's land between first or third base and home, and that is a double play. Cam's throw sailed a little bit. Mikey was backing up wisely, caught it, and he was halfway down. He couldn't decide whether he wanted to go back to third or score, and by that time, Mikey had him dead to rights. And there's oh man, pretty pitch there. Pretty pitch. I'm not sure where that one was. 2 outs. Teasley has the sign, the pitch. Hit foul. Back to the screen. The count is even, I believe, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bridger Hamilton, the catcher, is the batter. Mikey Teasley on the mound. He's got 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Sign from Parker, the pitch. Hit foul again over the top of the press box and out of play, and the count is 1-2. We're in the top of the first at Bobby Hopkins, the Wildcats and Smoky Bears on this Easter weekend. Tomorrow being Good Friday. I assume you guys are out of school tomorrow? Well, the students are, for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Parker free with the sign. Mikey comes to the plate, breaking pitch, stays up high. It's either high or low. The strike zone doesn't seem to be, it's either high or low. That was definitely a strike at the belt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Video doesn't lie. 2 balls and 2 strikes, that one's high. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Might be the narrowest strike zone I have seen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sets up on the inside half of the plate. The umpire does. 3-2 pitch. Cut on a miss. Swinging strikeout, and that is out number 3. They pick up a base runner, and he is doubled up. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge tied 0-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Caden Black, Mikey Teasley, and Peyton Witter, the scheduled 3, and Coach Travis Freeze lineup. And hopefully more. If you're a Wildcat fan, if you're a Sevier County fan, we welcome you to our broadcast. Had a good talk with your head coach, Casey Taylor. I've known him since he was in high school. Good guy. I like his dad, too, Alvin Taylor, former head coach at Clinton. The pitch. There's a ball outside, low, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Caden back in. The pitch to him is hit foul over towards the Sevier County dugout. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. James, should I give you the microphone over there? I don't know if Cooper doesn't want to talk. He's not even a baseball guy. Here's the pitch. Hit his foul off to the left side and out of play. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think Vashon's coming. I don't know if that's good or bad, but Caden stands in. I believe the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yes.
Caden Black stands in. The lefty comes to the plate and might have grazed him, and it did. And so Caden is aboard, hit by a pitch. It didn't catch a lot of him, but it was enough. And the Wildcats have their first base runner of the day. And the batter now will be the pitcher, Mikey Teasley. We so appreciate you watching our broadcast. Got a brand new camera guy, Cooper. He'll be doing the best he can as he learns. I'm talking about you. As he learns how baseball is just absolutely difficult to do with one camera. You know, the Atlanta Braves had 30 cameras going. As Caden's going to go, here's a good throw, and he is safe. That'll be a stolen base for Caden Black, and the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Peyton Ritter will follow in the Oak Ridge lineup. Caden's out at second base. Let's see what the sophomore can do. Behind in the count, well, it might be 1-0. Lefty checks Caden, who takes his lead. Mikey squares the bump, but the pitch is high. Here's a quick throw, and he throws it into center field, but not far enough for Caden. The center fielder was backing up nicely. And Caden, he would have been dead at third if he had tried to go on a good throw. And wisely, with nobody out, he's in scoring position. As Mikey stands in, I think the count is 2 balls and no strikes.
That's what I have it as, David.
Are you doing the scoreboard too? What is Peyton doing over there? Is he doing?
I'm recording the pitching.
Okay, he's recording the pitching, so we'll give him.
We can't verify that. though.
Yeah, as he's walking out of the press box right now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Caden takes his lead off of second. Teasley in. The pitch to him is in there for a called strike at the belt on the inside corner of the plate. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
David, you almost got us in trouble there in between the first,
He
the
did
top
say-
and the bottom of the inning.
He did say he was a fan of mine, though, so that's at least a positive. That pitch is outside a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, and he says he's going to watch the broadcast, but I'll go ahead and tell the story in a minute anyway. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Caden Black hit by a pitch. He's at second base. Pitch to Mikey is a little high, and Mikey Teasley is the second base runner of the ball game. And the batter now will be Peyton Witter. Looks like we're going to get Izzy Mitchell in the ball game. Izzy is going to run for the pitcher, Mikey Teasley.
Number 9, the first baseman, Peyton Witter.
Peyton stands in. He's the number 3 hitter in the lineup. He's playing first base for the Wildcats today. He's a junior transfer from Kingston, as I say. He is a right-handed hitter against the lefty. See the Wildcats put on a double steal as Peyton takes a strike on the inside corner of the plate. So, in between innings, the umpire comes up to the screen, and he says, what did he say, James?
He asked if we were the people that stream the YouTube games.
And neither one of us really said anything. And he said, who is the guy who does most of the talking?
I
And
pointed to you.
And I hesitantly raised my hand. As we'll see, this 1-strike pitch is a throw into center field, and Caden's going to easily make third this time. As throw just sailed over the top, and the throw from center field is going to allow Caden to score. Caden's going to come in. He does score. Wildcats throwing the ball, getting a chance to score because the Smoky Bears threw the ball first. The pitcher airmailed it to second. Caden advanced to third. When the center fielder, who was backing up the play, threw it in, it hit the top of the glove of the infielder, I believe, the shortstop, I think, and it rolled away. And Caden, being the great base runner that he is, he read it well and came in to score.
yeah, able to advance and just very veteran move there by him. And, good job by Coach Free waving around third, knowing that the throw might be a little bit off, having him take a large round around third.
And on that play, Izzy had to stay at first because the play was all in front of him wisely. He takes a big lead off of first. Pitch to Peyton is hit well to center field, not well enough. Center fielder calls for it, makes the one-handed grab, and Izzy retreats back to the bag at first. That's the first out here in the first inning. And I'll finish up on the story in a moment.
Batting now for Oak Ridge.
Parker Free, the batter, hitting the number 4 spot. I would expect Izzy to go. As that pitch is low and inside. Now he's caught in between the bags, and he was going to get a stolen base, I believe. It wasn't the classic delayed steal. It wasn't the classic delayed steal, but it worked like that, and Izzy has a stolen base. He got caught in no man's land. The catcher kind of double clutched it, and when he did throw it, the throw was there, but Izzy, using his speed, got under the tag, and he's in scoring position.
Yeah, luckily Izzy's pretty fast on there. I don't think very few other people, maybe Caden Black, would have made it second on that one.
That ball is off the glove of the third baseman, and he's got one play. It's to first, and he is out. He took a really wide turn as he headed towards first. I think he thought he was going to round the bag, but the ball was hit hard. It bounced off the glove of the catcher, but it didn't fall far from him. He was able to throw across the diamond to retire Parker.
Number 23, Camden Welch.
Cam Welch, the batter now for the Wildcats. Izzy advances to third base, but now there are 2 outs, and Camden Welch is the batter. It's lefty versus lefty. He hit the other left-hander, and that pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. Wildcats lead at 1-0 here in the first inning over the Bears. A couple of throwing errors contribute to the Wildcats' first run. Pitch is cut on and missed. Pitch on the inside, half of the plate at the knees, and the count is 0-2.
I think Parker may have taken a little bit of a wider turn there, thinking that the third baseman might try to tag Izzy, who was running from second to third.
Pitch is high and inside. I agree with that. I think because Parker didn't take a direct route down the baseline, he was. I think he thought that maybe the ball had gone into the outfield too, and you can see Coach Maddox was not too happy about the turn there as that pitch is up high and evens the count at 2 strikes. Everybody does double duty up in the press box, except Peyton. I don't know what Peyton does, as the pitch is evidently a little bit low.
There's actually 2 people that do Peyton's job. There's him and Connor.
Yeah.
Somehow everybody else does double duty, but they split a job.
3 strikes. Camden back in. The pitch to him is hit foul. Softly off to the right. And the count remains at 3 strikes.
Hey, what does Cooper do? Why is his double job?
Cooper's doing camera.
And score.
Cooper is talking. He's got the scoreboard. 3 strikes. 2 outs here in the first. The pitch. Hit foul again. Cooper get a shot of Izzy down at third base. Izzy deserves a little credit. That's Izzy Mitchell. He's a senior member. Was a member of your football team as well. Cooper had a great career at Oak Ridge as a defensive back receiver. Good baseball career as well. He's played a lot of baseball here at Oak Ridge High School. Hoping to score run number 2 for the Wildcats here in the second, but Cam's got to do something with the bat. He's got a 3-2 pitch coming his way, called strike 3, and that is the third out of the inning. So the Wildcats do score a single run. They do it. Basically, Caden Black was hit by a pitch, stole second, moved to third on a throwing error on a pickoff play, and came in to score on another error by the center fielder. 2 errors on the play, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 1-0. We'll take a break. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. The Wildcats lead Sevier County 1-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field for the Sevier County Smoky Bears. Will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in their lineup. Mikey faced the minimum in the first after giving up a base runner on an error on the infield. It'll be Jacob Green, the first baseman, Christian Huffman, the right fielder, and Isaiah Pappas, the pitcher. And that pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. A couple throwing errors. James, typically Sevier County, very fundamentally sound team, but a couple throwing errors help the Wildcats' cause as there's a called strike on the outside half of the plate.
Yeah, the pitcher was really concerned with Caden over at second. He had one throw down that was backed up pretty well by the center fielder, and the other one just went into center field, allowed Caden to score.
Breaking pitch, and there's called strike 3, and that is the first out of the second inning and the second strikeout of the ball game for Mikey Teasley. So we've got a scout down in front of us with a gun, and I'll ask Mr. Ulrich on what is his speed so far. He's tapped out at 93. 95 is the hardest he has thrown. That's not bad for a sophomore hurler, and I think this scout here in front of us has seen pretty good work here so far by the sophomore. There's a called strike, and the count is, I believe, 0-2. So, James, you want to finish the story? We got to the point where he was.
And I pointed at you.
Yes, and there's a strike, and that is strike 2. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I raised my hand reluctantly, and he said, I watch you all the time, and I'm a fan.
It's always nice to hear.
I think what he was probably saying, maybe he is, maybe he does watch, maybe he just doesn't want me to pick on him. Not that I ever pick on officials. I don't pick on officials, do I?
You would never pick on an official.
Maybe several, but not one, as that pitch is high and inside. We've got a 3 ball, 2 strike count. I've had basketball officials come up to me. I've had football officials call me before. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch cut on and missed. And that's a swinging strikeout, and that is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Mikey Teasley, the sophomore, who has thrown one at 95 miles an hour already in this game. He's a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen, and he's facing the pitcher, Isaiah Pappas. Pappas is a left-hander. Mikey throws from the right side. The pitch, fastball on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here's what I always say, James, and I don't want to take away from Mikey's great performance here. When we have some more dead time, I'll come back to the official story here. There's another called strike. What I always say, okay, in baseball right now, there are 10 people who are out there playing. You got 9 fielders, 1 batter. You got two people in the field. And that's strike 3 looking. He set up on the outside half of the plate, and that is out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Smoky Bears here in the second. We'll come back to that story in a moment. The Wildcats on top by a score of 1-0. Wildcats will be batting in the second inning. Kai Stevens, Kyron Welch, and Camden Britton. That'll be the Schedule 3 and Coach Travis Free's lineup. We'll be back to Sevier County High School. The Wildcats on top 1-0. Back in a moment. David and Cooper back here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top by a score of 1-0. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Cy Stevens is the batter for the Wildcats. Cy will be followed by Kyron Welch, then Camden Britton. Lefty versus righty, and the first pitch to Cy is on the inside corner but low, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. What I was going to say is there's 10 people right there on the field, and only 2 of them are getting paid, and those are the 2 umpires. They should be accountable for their work. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you got 9 high school kids. That ball's ripped to left center field. That's going to go to the gap. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Cy is heading towards second. He'll be in with a stand-up double. Good start for the Wildcats. That ball was ripped to one of the deepest parts of the park. It bounced maybe about 10 feet away from the fence, and it's 368 feet all the way out to that power alley. And it's a great start for Cy Stevens as he has a leadoff double. Batter now will be Kyron Welch. Kyron playing third base today. Do you agree with what I said?
I mean, that's one way of stating it, I believe, and maybe you accept the job. You might accept the
criticism,
the constructive criticism that comes with it.
I know it is a hard job to officiate football, basketball, baseball, whatever the sport, soccer, whatever. It is a hard job to do, and I couldn't do it, wouldn't want to do it because, I wouldn't want to have the grief that you get from the fans and nice people like me who occasionally say something that they shouldn't about officials. But, I know it's a tough job. But the way I look at it, though, is they're the only guys down there in high school ball that's getting paid.
It's true.
And, if T. Higgins shoots an air ball or drops a pass, I say his name. If official, that ball's ripped to the gap, too. That's going to get a run in. Nice hit for Kyron. It's going to roll all the way to the center fielder. Back-to-back doubles, an RBI for Kyron Welch. And the Wildcats now lead it by a score of 2-0. Back-to-back doubles for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats now will bring to the plate the left fielder, the sophomore, Camden Britton. Britton wearing number 8, has played left field several times this year. Hasn't had a whole lot of at-bats. Stands in for the Wildcats. He's a sophomore. Right-handed hitter. Runner at second base is Welch. The pitch is he tried to stab at it with a bunt, and the count is 0-1. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I believe that's fair.
That's what I've always believed that. I've told Mr. Queener, the head of the Association of Basketball. I've told that's the way I feel. One strike the count to Cam. The pitch is on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 0-2.
A little bit of a side note here. Cy Stevens was in. He doubled a moment ago. He's wearing number 28 today, even though he's normally 22 on the roster. He is 28. So if you see a little bit of a discrepancy, that would be why.
Yeah, he told me before the season as the pitch to Cam is hit on the ground to the pitcher on one hop. He looks the runner back and throws high and out. Camden is the first out of the inning. Batter now will be Warren East.
The center fielder, number 14, Warren East.
Warren is another sophomore. As I look at the lineup, Caden Black is a senior, Mikey's a sophomore, Peyton's a junior, Parker's a freshman, Cam Welch is a sophomore, Cy Stevens is a junior, Kyron Welch is a senior, Camden Britton is a sophomore, and Warren East is a freshman. You can see just how young the Oak Ridge team is. That pitch is down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. The Wildcats have played it a run, back-to-back doubles. There's one out here in the second. 2-0 Oak Ridge over Sevier County. Warren in the top of the order, waiting. Caden Black pitches on the inside corner, 2 inside. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes.
We had a good lineup last year up and down. This one might have a little bit more potential pop in its bat up and down the lineup.
as that pitch is hit foul, coming back this way, and it will be out of play.
The reason I say that is Cy Stevens, I think one of the games you weren't here, tripled. He doubled today. And, you were at the Bearden game where Warren homered. So
Right. Yeah, I think they're still looking for an identity to find who that guy is. I mean, last year was easy. It was, Tyler Pickens. He was the guy, basically,
Yeah.
all season at the plate, pitching, whatever, playing first base. This is a team as that pitch is hit foul. This is just my observation. You got a lot of good players, good young players, but nobody. Caden Black is, he's a star for this team, has been, but he's not what you call flashy or anything like that. He has a home run to his credit, and he's a good fielder. As that pitch is ripped to left fielder back on it first, and then it now drops in front of him, and that'll be a single. The left fielder, you're taught as an outfielder to take your first step back, and when he hit it, I thought it was hit a little bit better than that as well, as Warren is aboard with a single. But I don't think they right now, and I'll get back to that after James is not only doing the public address, he's also helping me on the radio as Caden Black stands in. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and stole a base in the first inning. They don't have that star. I don't know if that's the right word, if you call anybody a star in high school. But right now, I think they're looking for that identity and the go-to guy like you have in other sports as that pitch is a called strike.
I think that'd be the right way to say it, the go-to guy. I mean, you think about Tyler. Tyler played some third base when Mikey was pitching at times. He played first. He pitched. I mean, there's probably not a place you couldn't have put him somewhere on the field.
Caden takes a strike, and the count is 0-2. And you had Eddie Tan last year, who came over from Hardin Valley. He was a guy that contributed. But I agree with you. There's so much potential in this team, but they're young, and that has shown at times too. As that pitch hits Caden again, Caden is no stranger to being hit by pitches. He crowds the plate anyway. But last year there were games where he'd be hit 2 and 3 times a game, and it's already 2 times. And Isaiah has loaded the bases here. I think that's his name, Pappas, the pitcher. And the Wildcats have the bases loaded.
Number 3, Mikey.
The batter now is Mikey Teasley. Mikey walked back in the first inning. Bases full of Wildcats. Mikey stands in. Wildcats have hit the ball hard this inning. Let's see what Mikey can do. That ball's ripped hard into left field. That's a base hit. Here comes Kyron Wells to throw in. Here comes the airmail throw. Another run scores. All the runners will move up. Warren East is in. And it's 2 RBI single
Warren East and Kyron.
for him. Wildcats score with ease as Warren comes in to score. And Kyron comes in to score. And the Wildcats now lead it by a score. 4. I think it's 4. Yeah, I think it's 4 though. As Izzy Mitchell comes out to run. Let's see. The runs have been scored by Caden Black, Cy Stevens, Kyron Welch, and Warren. That's 4. And that ball's hit on the ground, third base side. Here comes another throw to first and a throw to third, and he is safe. Somehow slid under the tag, but the Wildcats have their 5th run as the Wildcats score as Caden Black comes in to score his 2nd run. We'll give an RBI to Peyton Witter. And the batter now is Parker Free. Parker 0 for 1 in the ball game. 5-0 Wildcats. That pitch is hit well to center field, but the center fielder back on it makes the catch in right center field for out number 3. But the Wildcats score 4 times. The Wildcats lead the Sevier County Smoky Bears as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. 5-0 our score. We'll be back to Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. We go to the third inning for the Sevier County Smoky Bears. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters as that pitch is hit foul. Back to the screen. Eli Koch, Mason Ellis, and Knox Krimbla will be the scheduled hitters in the Sevier County lineup. 5-0 Oak Ridge. Wildcats a single run in the first, 4 in the second to take a 5-0 lead.
Sorry.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's all good, Mike.
Mikey Teasley has the sign from Parker. And here's the 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground, right back to him. Mikey feels it, throws on the first in time
Mikey
for the first out
Teasley
of the
to
inning.
first. Batting now for the Smoky Bears. the
So, Cooper, you're
shortstop.
doing our camera work.
Number 22.
Ethan says you're his workout partner. Who's stronger, you or Ethan?
Ethan, by far.
By far. How come?
It's only my second year lifting and working and playing football.
Okay, that's fine. My goal for you is to get stronger than Ethan. I mean, as that pitch is a called strike, no balls and 1 strike. Mikey Teasley, sophomore, Wildcat, pitched to the pit. He made a stab at it, but not a full swing, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the Tennessee coaches is down below watching Mikey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch. There's a called strike at the knees on the right, on the outside part of the plate, and the count, I believe, is 1-2. 1 out, nobody aboard. 5-0 Oak Ridge over Sevier County. The pitch, fastball. That was, how fast was that? 87 miles per hour. 1 out, nobody aboard. Parker has the sign. Mikey at the plate. There's a called strike at the belt, and that is strike 3, and that is the second out of the inning, and that is the
Yeah, baby.
looks like the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Mikey Teasley.
Stepping in now for Sevier County, the center fielder, number 11, Knox Krimbla.
Knocks the batter as he stands in, right-handed hitter, number 9 hitter in their lineup. That pitch is high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. The Wildcats will play a doubleheader tomorrow. I believe the first game is at 1:30, and the second game will follow. That pitch is low and outside. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mikey at the plate. Hit foul. Right back to Cooper. Cooper didn't duck like Caleb Riker did. I mean, when Caleb Riker's here, he ducks under the table when the ball comes foul. Back. Yeah, but we
Try
know
telling
that.
him that.
We try to tell Caleb that every game. As that ball is hit up the middle, right to the shortstop, Caden Black. Plenty of time. Throws on the first
Caden
in time
Black to
for out
first.
number 3. So 3 up and 3 down again. Mikey Teasley has faced the minimum as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge lead the Sevier County Smoky Bears by a score of 5-0. And we'll be back on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of Sevier County by a score of 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Batter now will be Camden Welch. Camden 0 for 1 in the ball game, stands in. Lefty versus lefty. Leadoff man for the third inning. In the third inning, pitch. There's a pitch down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So is Peyton doing his job now, Coach Branson?
He has his partner in crime up here to help him.
Here's the pitch to the plate. Hit on the ground. Second base side. Second baseman, convenient hop, throws on the first in time for out number 1. One out here, nobody aboard in the third inning. James, mission accomplished. Wildcat batter now will be Cy Stevens. Cy had a double, scored a run earlier last inning when the Wildcats put 4 on the board. Mission accomplished. We got Connor and Peyton going at each other over there.
You know, I think it's more fun to kind of, ag arguments on and then just sit back and watch them kind of happen in the background.
that little exchange was great. Cy back in, the pitch hit on the ground softly to the shortstop. He fields it, has some time, throws in time for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Wildcats in the third. And the batter now will be Kyron Welch. Kyron had a double, had an RBI, and scored a run. In the previous inning, the Wildcats scored 4, but Pappas has done a much better job here in the third. He has retired the first 2 batters in order. 5-0 Wildcats. Appreciate you watching our broadcast on our YouTube channel. The pitch, low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Dude, you have umpire fans.
The thing that went well for the Wildcats there in the second inning was that they really made the pitcher kind of work at it, and we've taken a couple quick swings here in the first 2 at-bats, except Kai's being pretty patient at the plate on this one.
He is. Back in last inning, the back-to-back doubles, both Cy's and Kyron's were just hit right on the nose. That pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike.
Both of those started the inning, too.
You notice Peyton you notice as that ball is hit in the air softly, center fielder under it makes the catch, and Peyton survives yet another inning. The Wildcats go 1, 2, 3 in the third inning. We go to the top of the fourth inning. They've got the top of the order. That'll be Martin along with Huffaker and Hamilton. That'll be the scheduled 3 against Mikey Teasley. We're live here at Bobby Hopkins Field, Oak Ridge, on top of the Sevier County Smoky Bears, 5-0. Oak Ridge with a doubleheader tomorrow beginning at, of course, 1:30, as we said. We will broadcast for sure the first ball game, probably the second ball game. We'll hope you'll join us, though, here at Bobby Hopkins Field on this Easter weekend of baseball, part of a big tournament going on all over the Knoxville area, and we're happy to be a part of it here at Bobby Hopkins Field. We'll be back for the fourth inning in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins. Mikey Teasley has faced the minimum to this point. This is the leadoff man here in the fourth inning. This is Carson Martin. He reached on a error back in the first inning. He was retired on a double play as that ball is hit softly on one hop to Caden Black. It's going to be a bang-bang play, and he is safe. That'll be an infield single. And that is the first hit of the ball game against Mikey Teasley. It was not hit hard for sure, but counts just the same. Batter now will be Braden Huffaker. He hit into that double play. And the Wildcats in between, there were some wild pitches and a pass ball. Short lead at first. Runner not going. The pitch is hit on the ground. Could be two. Fielded by Kyron. He's got one play, and it's a high one. He comes down on the bag to retire the batter. I think if Kyron had fielded it cleanly the first time, they might have had a chance to get a double play, but once the ball fell at his feet, he wisely took the sure out at first as the runner advances down to second, but that is the first out of the inning.
Speaking of that double play in the first inning there, David, odd scoring for a double play. That would be at F9 with a 9-1-5-2.
You know, I didn't even try to score that. I just said double play. I know Kyron was the guy that caught the first one, and then after that they were throwing it back and forth. Camden's going to be hit to in the outfield, and he fires it in quickly to third, and it's a good throw by the sophomore right fielder, and that is out number 2. Camden Welch. I think I said Kyron a moment ago, but it was Camden who makes the play. That is out number 2. Jacob Green, the batter. He struck out looking in the second inning. Runner at second base for the Smoky Bears. Oak Ridge on top 5-0. Runner takes his lead off of second. The pitch is a little high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Mikey's a sophomore. Good-looking fielder, good-looking pitcher, hits the ball well. All-around good player for the Wildcats.
Yeah, really solid the last 2 years, this year and last year at third base as well.
That pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-0. The Wildcats scored a single run in the first, 4 more in the second. Went 1-2-3 in the third. Trying to retire the Smoky Bears here in the fourth. Teasley checks the runner at second. And the pitch. Outside corner for a called strike. And the count is 2-1.
Strike zone seems to be a little bit more consistent these last couple innings, David.
Yeah, after our conversation, things have kind of evened out a little bit. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Hit on the ground. A little over the top of Mikey. Caden fields it right in front of the bag. Throws on to Peyton Witter in time for the third out of the inning. So the Wildcats see the first hitter reach base on a base hit by the Smoky Bears. But once again, the Wildcats retire Sevier County, and Oak Ridge heads to the bottom of the fourth inning, leading Sevier County by a score of 5-0. We'll take a break. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll broadcast the 1:30 game tomorrow and hopefully the second game as well. Saturday, we will not be able to broadcast unless Coach Branson wants to do the play-by-play and everything on Saturday. Wildcats on top, 5-0. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Camden Britton, the batter, over one of the ball game, grounded out in his first and only plate appearance. He's hitting in the number 8 spot, playing the outfield today for the Wildcats. Sophomore right-hander. Facing Pappas, and the first pitch to Cam is cut on and missed. Count has no balls and 1 strike. Cam will be followed by Warren East in the top of the order for Oak Ridge. That pitch is outside. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch to Cam is hit well to left field. Will it drop in? Just foul. Up the left field line. I thought it might pop in, but it just kept drifting into foul territory. And the count is 1-2. Love to see Cam pick up his first hit of the year. Hasn't had a lot of at-bats. He's played more outfield than at-bats.
He's usually hit for when he's in the field by one of our designated hitters.
He's going to be a good player for us. I got a chance to get to know him a little bit earlier before the season started. 1 ball, 2 strike. The pitch looked pretty good. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
What year is he, David?
He is a sophomore. Played some football and baseball at Clinton. That pitch is outside a ball. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cam wasn't sure himself. He looked back at the umpire, my new friend. And the count is full. 3-2 pitch to Cam is inside corner, and that is strike 3. Took one on the inside, and that is the first out in the inning. And the batter now will be Warren East. Warren had a single, scored a run back in the second inning. Wildcats scored 4 that inning. Warren and Caden Black, the only Wildcats to this point with home runs on the year. As that pitch is low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the first inning, Pappas gave up a run, but really, most of it was because of just poor defense. As that swing by Warren, kind of a half-hearted. I think he got fooled on it and then decided to take a stab at it and missed it. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is hit foul back to the screen. What I was going to say, Pappas in the first inning, if not for a couple of throwing errors, wouldn't have allowed a run. Totally different story in the second inning where the Wildcats knocked him around that whole inning.
Yeah, in the first inning, he hit Caden Black, and then he also had a walk to add to that. So that's how he really got the base runners and the throwing errors there.
Caden's got 2 bruises to his credit today. He's been hit by the pitch twice, but not unusual for Caden. Now, like I said earlier, when it seemed like last year he was in double digits being hit by pitch. He crowds the plate. He's a left-hander. But, he's already been hit twice this game, and he's been hit several times already. Last year, I know it was double digits.
Yeah, I was talking to our friend Aiden, and he was saying that if you intentionally walk a pitcher, or a batter, I'm sorry, if a pitcher intentionally walks a batter, that those 4 pitches count against him. So it might be easier just to plunk a batter as opposed to give up the 4 pitches.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot better to inflict a little pain on them as opposed to making them stand there. But I think Caden probably would disagree with that after the 2 bruises he's incurred today.
He might have some calluses by now, David.
2-2 pitch hit well in the gap once again. Left center field. The left fielder makes a snow cone catch out of left field. I didn't think he was going to get to it at first, but he does make a nice play and hauls it in for out number 2. Back to the top of the order we go to Caden Black. As I mentioned, Caden has been hit by a pitch twice in the game, has a stolen base, and has scored 2 runs for the Wildcats. Now, if he hits him here, something's up. As the pitch comes in, that's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Mikey Teasley's on deck. Mikey has been on base twice. He walked, singled, and has a couple of RBIs to his credit today. He's on deck, but it'll take Caden getting on in some way. Pitch is a called strike. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
It seems like their corner outfielders are playing in a little bit more than probably they should.
With Caden Bennett, that's the 3rd time he was hit. 3rd time in the ball game, Caden Black has been hit by a pitch. I mean, is that respect or is that disrespect? What would that be?
I would say that would be respect.
Yeah, you're right. It was a breaking pitch of some sort. There wasn't a whole lot of velocity on it. But still, that's 3 times. And let's see if Mikey gives Caden an opportunity to steal here or if he'll attack early on. The UT pitching coach and others watching Mikey. Mikey not only is a good hitter and pitcher, like I said, he's a really good person as well. He would have been a good football player too, but I think he knows where his bread is buttered. I think he knows.
I would agree, and he's got the arm to play third and to throw it all the way over to first, but it's definitely a lot shorter throw from from the pitcher mound to home.
I think Casey Taylor, head coach of Sevier County, very aware of Caden's speed, and what Caden likes to do is that pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. I thought Caden might go on the first pitch just to get him into scoring position. There's 2 outs in the 4th inning, 5-0 Wildcats. Caden takes a typical Caden Black lead and draws yet another throw. I guess that's another typical Caden Black throw over to first. You know, when Caden's on base, he wants to go. He gets the green light anytime he's out there, and he doesn't get caught very often. He's not going this time as that ball is hit to right center field and deep. The right fielder back on it to the wall. It bounces 1 foot off the bounce. Here comes Caden around third. Here comes the throw to third. Not in time. That is an RBI double for Mikey Teasley. His 3rd RBI of the ball game. Caden Black scores the 3rd for the 3rd time in the ball game. And Oak Ridge leads Sevier County 6-0. So Mikey is showing out for the Tennessee Vols who are here to watch him play. I actually saw Mikey at the UT ball game the other weekend. This past weekend, I saw him in the stands. So he's a fan. The pitch is cut on and missed. The batter for the Wildcats is Peyton Witter. Peyton has an RBI to his credit. Yet to pick up a base hit. He can get another RBI here with a base hit. There's 2 outs, a run in. 6-0 Oak Ridge. Caden's heading towards third. Here's a throw, and he is in there for another stolen base. That is the 2nd stolen base of the ball game for Caden Black. He's at third now, and Peyton has an opportunity. The Wildcats would love to get run number 7 in. Pitch to Peyton is a breaking pitch. There it is. That's a base hit right up the middle, and Peyton has his 2nd RBI, his 1st hit of the ball game, and Oak Ridge leads the Smoky Bears by a score of 7-0. Peyton a rocket right up the middle, hit right back where it came from off of Pappas, and the Wildcats lead Sevier County 7-0. Batter now is Parker Free. Always somewhere in the order, somebody doesn't get on base, and so far it's Parker and Cam Welch and Camden Britton. They have yet to reach base. The rest of the team has. Time for Parker to get on board here. He's hit the ball hard. That one's got high hopper down the third base line, but foul. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Parker hit the ball on the button his first time, but was the third baseman made the catch. The ball didn't bounce away too far from him, and he was able to retire him at first.
Yeah, that's one thing you get out of Parker from the 4-hole here is that he's going to make contact. Even in the PAL game, he makes pretty good contact. So it's good to have that type of person on in this
Ball's
scenario.
hit on the ground this time, second baseman. He feels it and instead goes the short way, and by mistakenly not taking the short out at getting the force out at second, the second baseman, all he had to do is flip it to the shortstop, and they have an easy out at second base. He went the long route to first, and the first baseman couldn't pick up the throw, and the Wildcats have another base runner. And the Wildcats have runners at first and second. The Wildcats have a pinch runner in the ballgame as well for Parker. The batter is Camden Welch. Cam yet to reach base in this one. Runners at first and second. Pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
New base runner here for the Wildcats, Joel Pierce.
Yeah, Joel wears, I guess, number 19. Is that his number? As that pitch to Cam is hit to softly center field. Yes. Not caught by the center fielder. Peyton Witter comes in to score, and Pierce is going to come in to score too. Here's the air mail throw, and it eludes everybody. Rolls all the way back to the screen, and coming around to third is Cam Welch. We'll give him a single on the play. We'll give him at least 1 RBI. on the play. Joel Pierce comes in to score the run, and the Wildcats
Stepping in
now
now.
lead it 9-0.
Number 28, the designated hitter, Cy Stevens.
Peyton Witter scored. It is 9-0 Oak Ridge. Cy Stevens. If we can get this run in, the Wildcats could run rule them in the next inning. Pappas facing Cy. Had a double, scored a run, pitched to him. Nice stop by the catcher, keeps it in front of him, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. All the Wildcats have to do is get 3 outs in the next half inning. If we can score this run here, runner at third for the Wildcats, that is Camden Welch. Cy back in. Like I said, he had a double to his credit earlier. Hits the ball foul. Back to the backstop. And he's behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wildcats' second inning, they have scored 4 runs. They scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second, 4 more here in the fourth. 9-0 Wildcats. Pitch to Cy. That's up high. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sorry, David, I'm getting caught up on my book. I've been
Pitch to Cy, cut on a miss, and that is a strikeout, and that is out number 3. But the Wildcats score 4 more times to lead the Sevier County Smoky Bears here at Bobby Hopkins Field by a score of 9-0. Remember, the Wildcats will play a doubleheader tomorrow, Friday, Good Friday, beginning at 1:30. They'll take on a team tomorrow from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the other team, remind me who the other team they're playing tomorrow?
They play Sullivan East at 1:30 and South Milwaukee from Milwaukee, Wisconsin right after.
I wonder if they're Packer fans, Coach Branson.
I would assume so.
Okay. Mikey Teasley warming up for the 5th inning, 9-0 Wildcats. We'll be back on our YouTube channel in a moment.
That was killing me too.
As if I don't have enough to do.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field, top of the 5th inning. Christian Hoffman, the right fielder, Isaiah Pappas, and then Eli Koch, the scheduled hitters. Pitch is a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out as the Sevier County Smoky Bears bat in the 5th inning. There's a swinging strike, and the count is 1-2. He's getting an eyeful of Mikey today. He's got about everything working for him. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground. Up the third base line, and foul. Kyron Welch feels it in foul territory, slings it back into Mikey Teasley, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The first baseman for the Wildcats is Peyton Witter. Noah Wood is out at second base. Caden Black's at short. Pitch, breaking pitch, floats outside. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyron Welch is over at third. Camden Britton is in left field. Warren East is in center. Camden Welch is in right field. Parker Free, the catcher. Mikey just missed on that one. The count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yet to walk a batter in the ball game. Sign the pitch, hit on the ground. Shortstop, Caden fields it, has time. Throws on the first in time for out number 1. First out of the 5th inning. The batter now will be Pappas. Isaiah struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Big burly left-handed hitter for the Smoky Bears. Mikey comes to the plate, hit foul. Out of play. And the count is 0-1. So, Coach Branson, give us a little scouting report on Cooper as a football player.
Cooper is a guy that is always going to go out there and give you effort, and that's what you love to see. And he's going to always give you the best reps he can. He spent a lot of time this past year on scout team, particularly the offensive line.
There's another strikeout looking. That is the 7th strikeout of the ball game for Mikey Teasley. Broke that one off, and the lefty takes a seat. And the batter now will be Eli Koch, the designated hitter. He grounded out to Mikey. Little visit on the mound. And that's going to be the end of the day's work for Mikey Teasley. And he will be replaced on the hill, and coming in to pitch now for Oak Ridge, it looks like it's going to be Peyton Witter. So while we do have a pitching change, the Wildcats lead Sevier County 9-0. We are live here at Bobby Hopkins Field on our YouTube channel. And of course, we appreciate all of you watching our broadcast today on our YouTube channel. Peyton's going to come in to pitch, it would appear, as we're waiting. Wildcats are substituting. Let's see. Nope, it's just going to be, I thought Carson Fagan was going to come into the field. Nope, he's just going to change gloves out, and Camden Welch is going to move over to first, and Peyton Witter is going to take over on the mound for Mikey. And we'll come back and talk about it more in a moment.
The bids and changes for the Wildcats. Mikey Teasley goes to third base.
Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Peyton Witter takes over for Mikey Teasley. Batter now for them will be Eli Koch, the designated hitter. He grounded out to Mikey. What a great ball game for Mikey. He has struck out 6, gave up 1 hit. Base runner reached on an error. No walks in the inning. Just a really fine performance by the sophomore. As I mentioned, Tennessee's here to watch him, and they got a good eyeful. And hopefully Mikey pitched great in his stint.
Yeah, and he, I believe, only gave up 1 hit, and it was to their leadoff guy in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and the other base runner reached on an error and didn't walk anybody, which is, that's really, really big.
Yeah, and obviously you want to save his arm because we got some district ball games coming up, but you want to get him a little bit of work this week, and, a great outing for Mikey.
1 ball, 1 strike to the batter, designated hitter, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Pitch stays up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wildcats would love to get a run in the bottom of this inning. get away with a quick win. That ball is ripped to center field. Warren East is there. Oh, it drops in front of him. I thought the way he approached it, I thought he was going to make the play.
Punch,
But
singles.
that is a hit. That is the
Batting
first
now for
hit
Sevier County, the shortstop,
for Mr. Koch,
22.
the designated hitter. The batter is
Mason Ellis.
Mason Ellis. He was a strikeout victim looking back in the third. Right-handed hitter hitting in the number 8 spot in the lineup for Coach Casey Taylor. Pitch, hit, foul, out of play to the right. Doubleheader tomorrow. Well, hope to see you here at Bobby Hopkins Field beginning at 1:30. Couple games back-to-back. I assume there will be 7-inning ball games. We will not be able to stream on Saturday, so make a note of it. No balls and 1 strike. Peyton comes to the plate. Inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2.
The Portland team that we'll be playing, is that the kind of Clarksville area Portland team?
I think so. Yeah, they're very good in other sports. I mean, it's a traditional. Here's the pitch by Peyton, is a little bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did Peyton just ask us how many strikeouts that Mikey had?
Now Peyton's blaming other people.
Yeah. Pitch is fouled at the plate. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. We do appreciate Peyton and Connor, new additions to the baseball program, helping out this year. Guys, we pick on you, but we definitely appreciate you up here.
Sometimes.
Well, you're an easy target. Peyton, you're an easy target.
Connor said he doesn't do anything wrong, David. I don't know if you heard that.
I thought he said that, but, you know, I don't know. Well, the Branson kids are in the house here. Emmett and Avery rolling in. Peyton comes to the plate. The pitch, hit foul. Emmett, what have you been doing today?
Nothing really.
Did you have to go to school?
Yes.
Do you go to school tomorrow?
Yes.
You have baseball this weekend?
Well, no, I don't.
You don't have any baseball? It's Easter weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Peyton checks the runner. The pitch. The pitch a little high, just maybe a little bit above the belt, and the count is 2-2.
Emmett did not like that call, apparently.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner first, 2 outs here in the 5th. Ball hit on the ground softly. Knocked down. Well, Wildcats couldn't knock it down. It's going to roll softly in the left field. We'll let him reach base on an infield single, and they'll move the runner over to third, so they'll have runners on the corners. The ball was hit very softly, and once it got past the third baseman, Mikey Teasley, there was no way Caden could get to it. And it got just kind of in that no man's land where it just went into left field, and they've got runners on the corners. Peyton trying to get out of trouble here. He's facing the number 9 hitter, the center fielder, who was I think I have him as a strikeout victim back in the third. Good lead at first. Peyton's gonna throw over and easily back to the bag. We do have some changes. Obviously, the first baseman is Camden Welch. Looks like Noah Wood is still at second base. Caden Black at short. Mikey Teasley is at third. Kyron Welch is the catcher. Wildcat outfield looks the same. The pitch up high.
I believe Parker Free is out in right field replacing Camden Welch.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, Parker is number 2. Parker's all over. Parker has played catcher. Parker has played second, and Parker is now in right field. There's a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Earlier in the season, I saw Parker getting some work in at third base, but I don't know if we'll see him at third this year. That ball is hit on the infield. That should be out number 3. Camden Welch in foul territory makes the catch for out number 3. They pick up a couple of base runners, but they leave them both stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge, Tennessee on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday in East Tennessee. 9-0 Wildcats, and we'll be back with the Wildcats batting with a chance to win the ball game in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats on top 9-0. The Wildcats could, if they get a run here, they'll win the ball game. The 10-run rule is that pitch is evidently a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. To Kyron Welch. Kyron has an RBI, has a double, has scored a run in the ball game. Pitch to him is hit weakly off the end of the bat, up the first base line. Catcher pounces on it and throws Kyron out for the first out here in the 5th inning. I believe it's the 5th. Better now for Oak Ridge will be Camden Britton.
The left fielder, number
Love to see Camden get on base here. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Stands in, right-handed hitting sophomore.
Yeah, sometimes our 5th inning scoreboard is not working great.
Pitch is a called strike. Breaking pitch looked a little outside, but evidently caught the corner, and the count is 0-1. Pitch cut on a miss. High pitch in the strike zone. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Love to see Cam. Well, it's too late now with 2 strikes here to put one down. I think with his speed he could get on base. That pitch is way outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think that would be something that Camden could do. He can hit anyway, but I'd love to see him just lay one down. Not here, as that pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 1 out here in the 5th. 9-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Wildcats will be following in the Wildcats lineup, I should say, is Warren East. Pitch to Cam, cut on a missed. And that is a strikeout, and that is out number 2 here in this inning. And the batter will be Warren East. We'll see. Warren has a single, has scored a run in the ball game.
batting now for Oak Ridge.
Right-handed hitter, 9-0 Wildcats. 5th inning. Appreciate all of you watching our broadcast. Best thing to do is to subscribe to our channel. That pitch is on the inside corner at the belt for a called strike. The ball's a 1 strike, and you'll be notified each time we go live. Like I've said before, as that ball is hit in the air to center field, can of corn, as they say. He makes the catch for out number 3. I'll come back and talk about that in a moment. Well, while I have a chance, I'll talk about it now because the music's not playing. But we cannot broadcast every Oak Ridge game. We'd love to. We would love to do that. We're going to broadcast tomorrow's ball games, but Saturday we will not be able to broadcast. Then next week we'll be able to broadcast the I think this is the Central ball games. I think it's Monday and Tuesday is Central, I believe. And if that's the case, we will be able to broadcast those ball games. We'll have the TV show on Wednesday, and then after that, the Wildcats. We might not be able to do a few ball games until later on in the April. We will broadcast from Dobbins-Bennett those ball games and later on in the year. But not all of our broadcasts, get on. And what I want to say is, instead of just checking every single ball game, if you subscribe to the channel, you're not going to get emails, you're not going to get phone calls or anything like that. But you do get notified when we do go live with a broadcast, whether it be baseball, basketball, football. And I know people watching us right now are baseball fans, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, grandparents, parents, and or watching their family members and friends play baseball. But you will be, if you just subscribe to it, it's on the page there on our Prep Radio channel. And if you subscribe, you'll know when we go live. And I would love to do every ball game, but as I've said, I do it. It's just because I love baseball. We have no sponsors. I do it out of the goodness of my heart, and my other job kind of takes me away a little bit from Oak Ridge, and it's a baseball-related job. It's for those of you who don't know, I am very fortunate to be living out a childhood dream, and I work for the Atlanta Braves, and this will be my 10th year working for the Braves, and it's a childhood dream. I was a lifelong Braves fan. My uncle George introduced me to the Atlanta Braves when I was very young, and thank goodness he is still around, and he gave me the love of baseball, and that's why I'm doing these games for Oak Ridge. got a chance to play a little baseball for Oak Ridge as well back when my high school days, but I do it as just as a service because I love to get these guys who play baseball for Oak Ridge who don't get a lot of attention. The sports other than football and basketball don't get the attention. There's nothing ever in the paper if people still read papers. There's nothing really, and I just want to give these guys as much attention and as they can possibly get. As we start play here in the sixth, that was end of my rant there, James.
Touching on your point before, yes, the Wildcats will play at home against Central on Monday and then at Central on Tuesday. And only one other game next week, and that will be at Maryville.
What day is that?
I believe that is the 5th.
5th. That is opening day for the Braves against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Home opening game.
Yeah, home opening day. They'll open tomorrow. There's a swing and a miss there. Peyton is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Witter took over with 1 out in the previous inning, from Mikey Teasley, who was brilliant today. 1 hit, no walks, 6 strikeouts, didn't allow a run. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Hit in the air softly. First base side, Camden Welch in foul territory, but it's Noah Wood, the second baseman, who calls him off and makes the catch right on the line for the first out of the inning.
Batting now for the Smoky Bears, the third baseman.
Batting now will be the third baseman, Braden Huffaker. Braden is 0 for 2, hit into that weird double play. And what was the scoring on that double play again, James?
That would be an F9 for the flyout and then a 9-1-5-2 put out.
And that retired the first base run of the ballgame, which reached on an error. He also grounded out to third baseman Kyron Welch. That was back in the 4th inning, so he is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Swings that he misses, and he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. If you count a double play, this isn't really 0 for 3, but basically it's 0 for 2, but he accounted for 3 outs.
Yeah,
I'm being mean, but, I mean, it's not the way you score it. Here's a strikeout, and they're going to have to throw him out, and they do, and that is the first strikeout for Peyton Witter. I know the scoring, but I'm just telling you, he accounted for 3 outs.
Batting now for Sevier County, the catcher, number 1, Bridger Hamilton.
Bridger Hamilton, the catcher, is the batter now. Bridger 0 for 2 in the ballgame, struck out in the first and flew out to Camden Welch in the, looks like the 4th inning. First pitch is a strike, sorry.
He was the flyout in that double play, so he was the for sure out. So he did account for at least one of those outs.
Yeah, but, he was the guy batting. I know how to score. I've been doing this before you were even born, Coach Branson. I'm just saying that 3 outs on that one at bat there. And about everybody on the team touched it. Ball hit on the ground to Noah Wood at second base. Nice play. Fields on the first and throws him out. Nice stretch by Camden Welch to hold the bag, and the Smoky Bears are retired 1, 2, 3 here in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. My name is David Clary. Cooper, you're going to have to pronounce your name again. I read it all the time on the football roster, but I just don't want to butcher it.
Getzinger.
Getzinger, is that German? What is that?
German.
How far out is the German part of your family?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you don't do like leg or whatever that's ancestry.com or anything like that?
My grandma has, but we never really talked about it.
Okay, so are you fully German or are you
German and a lot of Irish.
Irish? Okay. What's the Irish part of your name? What's that? Your mother's maiden name?
Mom's side is German and Irish, and Dad's side is also German and Irish. Mainly German, though.
Cooper, I'm sorry I'm picking on you, but you see what we do to people up in the press box.
Oh, I understand.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-0 our score. We'll be back to Bobby Hopkins in a moment. And the human target will lead things off for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. That would be the shortstop, Caden Black. Caden has been hit 3 times in the ballgame. 3 times Caden Black has stepped to the plate, and Caden Black and Blue stands in to bat here in the 6th inning. Caden, like I said, has been hit 3 times, has scored 3 runs, and has stolen 2 bases. And that's the first one that hasn't come close to him, and that was a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. You like my new name for him, Caden Black and Blue?
I heard that one also heard him called a human target.
Yes, I called him that too. That pitch is hit on the infield very high. The second baseman calls for it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Caden aggressively was assuming that he was either going to catch it or he was going to drop it because he was headed to second, and that is the first out of the 6th inning. The batter now will be Mikey Teasley. Mikey has had a really fine ball game. He walked his first plate appearance. He has singled in 2. He's doubled in a run, 3 RBIs in the ball game, and he takes a strike there. No balls and 1 strike. He's also the pitcher of record. Threw very well, striking out 6, giving up 1 hit, walked nobody. 1 strike to pitch. There's a called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Mikey will be followed by Peyton Witter. Peyton has 2 RBIs in the ball game, a single, and scored a run. Pitch, hit in the air, right side, in the gap, right center field. The center fielder, it's the right fielder, though, who tracks it down right in front of the fence for out number 2. And after his final at bat, the UT coaching staff head to the exits. And they saw a really fine ball game by Mikey Teasley. Love to see the sophomore in orange someday. Batter now is Peyton Witter, as I mentioned. Peyton, let's see, 2 RBIs in the ball game, a single and a run scored. Wildcats 3 outs away from a win here today at Bobby Hopkins Field. Pitch is a called strike on the outer half of the plate at the belt, and the count is no balls and 1 strike.
Wildcats have been able to hit the Sevier County pitching pretty hard all night.
Yeah, about everybody has contributed in this one for the most part. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker's on deck for the Wildcats. Wildcats have had not only just the starters play, of course, Pierce and Izzy Mitchell have played as well as runners. That pitch is hit to right field. The right fielder got a bad look at it and can't make the play. Peyton is going to round first, head towards second, and the right fielder comes up with it. He didn't really see it, and to his credit, and I don't want to pick on him, but the right field at this time of day, the sun is kind of heading in that direction. He didn't really get a good jump off the bat in right field. And we'll give Peyton a double on that, and he will be replaced on the base paths by Izzy Mitchell. Of course, in high school ball, you can run for the catcher and the pitcher. That's to keep the game rolling. And obviously Peyton, who started the game at first base, is the pitcher now. Wildcats with the winning run at second base in the person of Izzy Mitchell. Parker stands in for the Wildcats. There's 1 out here in the 6th. Runner going to third. Here comes the throw. He sails into left field, but Izzy could not advance home. Left fielder was there to back it up. That'll be a stolen base for Izzy. That'll be his 2nd stolen base of the ball game. And the winning run is at third base, 9-0. Britt St. Clair, the new pitcher for the Sevier County Smoky Bears.
2nd time Izzy's stolen third tonight.
Is that his 2nd or 3rd stolen base? As a pitch to Parker is on the inside corner for a called strike.
That is his 3rd stolen base. He stole 2nd in the 1st inning, and then he stole 3rd in the 4th, and then that one there.
So 3 stolen bases. My apologies. Mitchell family and Izzy in particular. 0-2 pitch to Parker, cut on and missed. And that is strike 3, and that is out number 3. as we go to the top of the 7th inning. I was just watching how everybody was hesitating out on the field, and I thought, am I wrong or is they wrong?
Scoreboard guy is not having a good day.
So we go to the top of the 7th inning here at Bobby Hopkins Field. The Wildcats 3 outs away from a victory over the Smoky Bears. And we'll take a break. We'll send it back. We'll be back to Bobby Hopkins Field in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bobby Hopkins Field. Peyton Witter trying to finish the ball game, give the Wildcats a win. As Jacob Green steps in, first pitch hit right to the third baseman. Mikey Teasley fires on the first in time for out number 1.
Teasley to first.
Good job there, Peyton. 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Number 12, Christian Hoffman.
Right-handed hitter stands in. That'll be, I guess, Christian Hoffman. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Ball's hit off the end of the bat, foul. Are we picking on Peyton a little bit too much today, James?
I don't think you can ever pick on somebody too much.
Well, that's probably true. Pitch to the plate is a little bit low. We'll pick on Connor tomorrow. How about that?
That sounds fair.
Oh, boy, the first game is all yours, Connor. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Outside. That would be the Jubilee Singers. The Jubilee Singers there is a fundraiser. Yes, that's what I thought. Ball hit on the ground, Noah Wood. Oh, convenient hop. Throws on the first. Nice play. Really nice play by Noah Wood. Took a convenient hop for him, but it was deep. He had a long throw to make, and Camden was able to dig it out, and that is the second out. The Wildcats are an out away from a win.
Great throw there by Noah Wood, going away from first base there toward second base, really deep in that hole there, as you said, and able to come up and make a nice throw.
So Sevier County down to their final out, and there it is. No problem at all in the 7th inning. A line out to Caden Black, and the ball game is over. The Wildcats have defeated the Sevier County Smoky Bears by a final score of 9-0. 9-0 is the final score. And, you know, the Wildcats did it with 1 run in the first, 4 runs in the second, 4 more in the 4th inning, and that's all the Wildcats needed. 9-0, the final score. In a moment, I'll get the scoring totals, and we'll get the final words from Coach Branson. I can't tell you that. Oh, I'll run them down. Caden Black reached base 3 times. He was hit by a pitch 3 times, stole 2 bases, scored 3 runs for the Wildcats. Mikey Teasley, 3 RBI day. He had a walk, a single, a double. As I mentioned, knocked in 3 runs. Izzy Mitchell-Wren got 3 stolen bases in the ballgame. Peyton Witter, a single, a double, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. Parker, let's see, Joel Pierce scored a run for the Wildcats. Cam Welch had a single and an RBI. Cy Stevens, a double and a run scored. Kyron Welch had an RBI, a double, and a run scored. And Warren East had a single and a run scored. The winning pitcher was Mikey Teasley, had 6 strikeouts in the game, gave up 1 hit, didn't walk a batter. Peyton Witter comes in and closes the door for the Wildcats. James, your thoughts on the win today? Good win for Oak Ridge.
Absolutely, David. You ran down the scoring there, and talk about really a whole team win. I think I have 8 of the 9 batters that we had, maybe missing Camden Welch. He may have walked one time. But 8 of the 9 batters got on base at some point. And, when you have that going in your rotation, you're able to score 9 runs and really kind of put the Smoky Bears away early and get out to a good lead. And able to rest one of your best pitchers in Mikey Teasley and get Peyton Witter a lot of work. Peyton's a really good pitcher himself, too. He's come in a relief in several situations, but he could possibly be a starter if we needed him to.
The UT coaching staff, pitching coach, and another member of their staff was here, and they got a good look at Mikey. Mikey pitched really well today.
Pitched really well today and even had a great day at the plate. I believe you mentioned his 3 RBIs several times, really nice hits. And even when he didn't get a hit, he made deep contact to the outfield there. Thinking about his fly ball out really deep into right field one time.
Final score of the ball game: the Wildcats win it by a score of 9-0. I'll be speaking to Coach Travis Free and maybe Mikey, and we'll see who else comes over to talk to us. Wildcats win it 9-0 over Sevier County. We'll be back with more of our post game in a moment. Let's see. Looks like Mikey Teasley is going to be joining us here. Let's have Mikey back up just a little bit. We'll get a good shot. Let Cooper get a better shot of him. Mikey, first off, congratulations on the win.
sir.
You pitched really well. I mean, you topped out one time at 95 miles an hour.
Yes, sir.
You seem to have everything going for you today, pitch-wise.
Yes, sir. It felt, I knew coming into the game, I was ready, especially after what happened on Monday. I wanted to come back and get a win, and that's what we did. The team fought for me at the plate. I fought for them on defense, and it just worked out.
You know, I noticed in the pre-games you were kind of throwing wild, and I was thinking, uh-oh, Mikey's a little off. But once the game started, you were spot on.
Yeah, it was just, I just finally locked in, I guess, and then even before the game, I was wild, but then I realized that I was just not getting my back leg, and that's all I did to change it.
You know, you had the UT people looking at you today, which
Yes,
I
sir.
know when you know you've had people scout you before. Does that make you a little bit more nervous, or does that kind of pump up your adrenaline a little bit?
It pumps me up a little bit because, like, you know, I've never had one come to my high school games, but I've had some come to summer ball, but it's just different knowing that it's my hometown.
Yeah, that was the pitching coach for the Vols here.
Yes, sir.
And did I see you at the ball game the other day? I saw you on
Yes, sir.
television. I said, "There's Mikey Teasley on television." So you're a Tennessee fan at least. At least you go to the ball games. But you also hit the ball real well today. Had 3 RBIs, I think, in the game. Had a single, double, walk, 3 RBIs, and you fielded the ball well. So it's all around pretty good game for you.
Yes, sir.
Talk about this weekend. I know you've got 2 tomorrow, and then you've got 1 on Saturday. Y'all are playing a lot of baseball games. You know, you love baseball, so
Yes, sir.
it's your life, and you love it probably. I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I believe so. With our pitching staff, it's just they're gonna shove it tomorrow and on Saturday. And I feel like at the bats, I feel like we finally kicked it on, and we're gonna be dominating tomorrow and Saturday this weekend, and then get ready for the Central on Monday and Tuesday.
Mikey, I appreciate it. Here comes Coach Free. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir.
It's Mikey Teasley. Here comes the head coach of the Wildcats. And, Coach, if you'll step back just a little bit here, we'll let Cooper get you in there. I found a camera guy here.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Coach Travis Free joins us here. Coach Casey Taylor has really made the Sevier County program into a really good program.
Yes.
A good program you were playing today. Mikey, a lot of things I can say. Mikey was lights out pitching. I mean, he was just on his game. Everything was working for him today. Your bats came alive. You had timely hitting. You made, with the exception maybe early, you made some really nice defensive plays. I thought Noah Wood played some great second base out there for you. But,
He's a baller, man. He's a baller.
yeah. I mean, you can't fault a 9-0 win over a good team.
Yeah. You talked about all the highlights of the night for sure, but it's just a difference in who we are internally inside of our locker room today was a little different, and you know we had to get some get right meetings coming the last couple of days. So now we've got ourselves ready. We're in a better place. We played as a team. We executed all phases. Mikey was the best he's been. He hadn't been great all year. I mean, it's no secret he hadn't been his best, and today he was his best. You know, Peyton threw strikes. We had 0 walks for the first time of the season. 0 walks usually with our pitching staff usually is going to correlate to 0 to 1 run. I mean, they're not going to score a bunch of runs if we don't give them free passes. Even the game against Powell, if you go back and look, I think we had 4 free passes and 3 of those guys scored. So a lot of those things are happening tonight. We didn't do it, and today we just played ball, really. We played good. We played great everywhere.
You know, it's kind of a funny name I've given Caden Black and Blue. The guy gets hit all the time.
Yeah, he does. He does. Always in the calf muscle, too, but
I mean,
I don't know.
He's like a magnet for baseballs. I mean, last year he had to be in double digits in being hit by pitch, and today 3 more times. But he sets the table for you at the top of the order.
Well, when he gets on by giving him free passes like that, that usually turns into runs for us because he's going to be able to get his way around there pretty quick. We got some big hits. He was able to move and steal on a catcher that was 1-7, best catcher we've seen in the year. I mean, he had the best pop time that we've had on our stopwatches all year or so, but he was still able to steal a bag with a combined time of somewhere like under 3 seconds, which is super impressive. You know anything about baseball, that he was able to steal a base when the catcher and pitcher combo was under 3. There's not many guys that can do that.
Coach, talk about this tournament and all the games you're involved with and all the other games that are going on.
There's like over I think there's like 40-some teams in this. And what we've all done as a group and as a baseball organization here in town, everybody always hosts tournaments on Easter weekend. So we've all kind of just combined all of our tournaments together to kind of give teams from out of town. You think about this team, they're out of town. Then we got a team out of Milwaukee that's in this tournament. We got a team, from Sullivan East, which is up in the Upper East in Bristol area, Bluff City. So they're all over the place and they're all coming in. So it allows all of us to still be involved with the tournament style, but it also allows us to see new teams. I mean, we're going to get to see teams that we never play against.
And you got a doubleheader tomorrow.
We do have a doubleheader. We moved the game where we were supposed to play it on Wednesday. We moved that game till tomorrow at 1:30. They're down here, that team from South Milwaukee. Cool story. One of their pitchers that just graduated also is pitching for the University of Tennessee as their Sunday starter. So they were coming down to watch the Georgia series this weekend. So they have tickets to tomorrow night's game. So we had to move their game up to the early one. And then we're going to play Sullivan East right after that because they're staying through the weekend to play on Saturday as well.
So it'll be back-to-back starting at 1:30.
Back-to-back.
Okay.
There's a game here at 11. We play the 1:30, and then we're going to go back-to-back.
7-inning ball games.
7-inning ball games, 2 hour and 15-minute time limits, but we'll go from there.
Coach, just your final comments on the win today.
We played our best. We executed. We did the things that it takes to win. We threw strikes, made defensive plays, and we got timely hits.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Coach Travis Free, the Wildcats victorious by a final score of 9-0 over the Sevier County Smoky Bears. That about does it here. Let me see. We'll get if I don't know if James will have any more comments to make here. I would assume he probably will not. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School baseball will be coming up on Saturday. Or actually, today is not Friday. It'll be tomorrow, Friday, 1:30, when the Wildcats take on the first of two, and we'll try to broadcast both games. Appreciate Cooper coming all the way up here to do our camera work for us. We appreciate that. Appreciate James talking as well. Cooper, any final comments on your first broadcast?
It was a lot of fun. A lot less hard than I expected.
Oh, yeah, good. Baseball, it's pretty hard with one camera, but as well as Mikey pitched, there wasn't a whole lot of action. So, I mean, that helped.
Yeah.
So, James, just your final comments?
Great game, great win. Good start to the tournament for the Wildcats as they hope to go 2-0 tomorrow and get on a little bit of a winning streak heading into Central.
As I said, the Wildcats win at 9-0 over Sevier County. Until tomorrow at 1:30, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.